All right, we got something a little unusual here. We have two red days in a row for the SPY. Terrifying. All right, anyway, we'll start hanging out near all-time highs. So let's go right into the list for, is it tomorrow, Friday already? Yep. For Friday, January 26th. Big volume day for PACB. Breaking out, above, I don't know, 3 months worth of trading, closing kind of right at the most recent high from looks like late November. Very strong volume though. That's worth watching for a red to green tomorrow. SEED was on watch today for a bounce, and it didn't. You can see the intraday candles look more like an EKG or paint splatter. So there's not a lot of volume in this thing. There was no trades in it today, no calls in it today, but it might be worth watching for tomorrow over today's high. I don't know. I'm just not in love with this thing. It only traded 546,000 today. We'll see. The small caps right now, there's just not a lot of action in them, and so I'm not making a lot of trades right now. But I've been green every day this week, and green every day since Halloween, except for Thursday and Friday last week. Friday I lost $80. Anyway, but right now I'm not trading a bunch. I'm maybe taking 2 trades a day because there's just not a lot out there. Even though the market is strong overall, we're in the thick of earnings season, which money just does not flow into these small caps during earnings season. So knowing that is pretty important. All right. CVO got another big volume spike here today, but just never followed through. I really thought, okay, now it's going to come up and revisit this $1.50. And then it slowly bled back lower. And I actually got some of this volume came pouring in right at the earlier high here at 122. I got some of this right at that 122. I got a partial fill though. And then as it started going up, I sold some, and then held a third until finally I said to myself, yeah, it's not going anywhere. And then killed the rest right here. So I don't know what I made in it, a couple $100 or something. But I still want to watch it. It still seems to me that it's holding support. It's giving. I hate the fact that these little mini breaks are getting shot down, but it is holding support. And you did have this big pop here, and I'm going to keep watching it. GSUM, big volume today. Big volume. Let me pan out a little bit here. So you do have some issues in this area, right? Right around 13. It had issues with it here. A long time here. It did peak above it here and here, but this is an area right in here that and this has gotten up to this area fairly quickly. So it makes sense to me, that it kind of got smacked back down here. By the way, I literally had a bid at 1262, and it hit 1262. This was on the pullback. It hit 1262, but didn't fill my order, which was kind of depressing. But it didn't exactly tear it up from there, but it did go over 1310. Anyway, having said all that, I did like the volume spike here, and it held up pretty well. You can see this thing can chop around quite a bit, but I'm going to watch it tomorrow. See if we get any kind of clean setup in it. Remember, I'm just looking for trades today to take. Tomorrow, I'm in cash every night, so keep that in mind. PULM is next. Got kind of a long list here. A little extra volume today coming up to this $1.80 that it actually hit here and here earlier in the month. I do like the extra volume, so over 180, this is kind of interesting. We're going to keep it on watch. Has good support below. CDTI, nice volume spike and a pretty strong close. We're going to watch that one tomorrow. Mankind, MNKD, big breakout today. 38 million shares and closing pretty close to the high. So we're going to watch that one. AMSC had this big volume day yesterday. Quiet inside day today on lower volume. We're going to see if that can give us one of our third day plays tomorrow. See if it moves back up again. SPI I've had on bounce watch for a few days, and it's still on bounce watch. No trades in it. You have the gap up, a couple red days, gap up, a few red days, another gap up, a couple red days. As I've said before, if the longs can get a hold of this on an intraday basis, it's set up to squeeze. But right now, sellers are absolutely in charge. Every time this gaps up, goes on watch. RVLT, after the big volume push here, keep in mind this big volume push was only 1 million shares, but a couple days lower on declining volume. Worth watching, but again, these small caps really out of favor at the moment, in my opinion, due to earnings season. NCTY has been on bounce watch like 4 days in a row. No trades in today. It just goes back on bounce watch for tomorrow. I like it less and less each day, though, because we want to find stuff that has had a big move, and then pulls in for 2 or 3 days on lower volume, and then gets right going again. So this is the way I don't know, how would I sum this up? It's losing its passion. It's losing its audience. So if this gives any kind of a low risk setup tomorrow, maybe a narrow range break and then breaks the highs, I'd be surprised if volume comes into it, right? Because it's been too long since the big move. So with each passing day, I like it a little bit less. But again, no trades in it today. Kodak, K-O-D-K, had this monster move, then a gap up, fell for a couple days. Really nice week-long move here. And now we on declining volume. We're 3 days lower, taking out the 8-day. This one is a good potential. I'm just looking for a green day bounce, right? I'm just looking for a bounce day. It's a nickel spreader, so be careful and be aware of that. But it goes on watch. And then OPGM, which had this big spike yesterday, and then today, actually pretty damn strong again. I want to watch that one going into tomorrow. And we'll find some gappers in the morning to watch as well. Enjoy your night, and we'll see everybody tomorrow.